Hi! So my name is Galia. Most of you probably know me by my Instagram name, VegasRose666. I wasn't originally going to do a video blog, and that's just mainly because I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. It's a little weird sitting here and kind of talking to yourself and trying to feed off of that. You're just kind of winging it. I don't know if you're supposed to have like a notebook of what you're going to say, but I have done that. But I've been working a lot on my own business plan, which kind of started off with a blog. Writing is definitely more of my thing. I do have a degree in philosophy and humanities, so writing has always come easily for me. So basically, my business wanted to start with just doing a blog relating my philosophy degree to the fitness industry. There's so much resource out there for training, for nutrition, for diet, for all of those kinds of things, but I just find that there's not very much out there substance-wise for, people looking for help finding the right mentality or finding the right philosophies for why they're doing what they're doing or finding success in the long run. And about 2 years ago, I decided to be a cardio bunny. I started running. I've always been overweight my whole entire life. Always struggled finding that motivation. Was never able to really lose the weight that I wanted to, and I couldn't really figure out why until I found running, and I really enjoyed it, and I kept doing it, and the next thing I knew, I lost 20 pounds, which to me was awesome. But then I realized, I still really wasn't happy with myself, and so, I came into, it would have been 2015, with the intentions of kind of starting a bodybuilding program, not really knowing what I was doing, and looking on the internet, I saw a lot of people lifting heavy, and I was like, that's really cool. Learned that it was powerlifting, and I was like, I want to do that. So I started. Always had back problems though. My whole entire life, basically since I had an injury in, I guess it would have been 2007, compressed my spine and got whiplash. I've always had these back problems, and it's always just kind of been, underlying issues. Doctors just like, not really much you can do. You just have back problems. So going into powerlifting originally, I knew that was going to be something that I was going to have to overcome. So focusing on form and putting as much effort as I could into that was always huge for me. But I hurt myself a lot. 2015 was basically injury after injury. I couldn't complete a full training cycle without getting hurt. A lot of people came to me with, you should stop, why are you lifting so much? And to me, it had really become a passion. There wasn't really anything else in my life that made me want to drive. So as powerlifting became my passion, a lot of the stuff in my life started to change. I started to realize a lot of the things that I thought that I wanted, weren't really actual goals of mine. They were just kind of things that I thought that I was supposed to do. I was going through the motions. Finding powerlifting and realizing that there could actually be something that you are so passionate about, that you drive so hard, you set goals and you reach them, that really put a whole new outlook on my life. I realized basically to achieve these kinds of things, though, it was going to require me have to change a lot of aspects of my life and grow in a different direction than I was, which ultimately, ended a relationship. I kind of moved off into my own to do my own thing. I just kind of wanted to figure myself out in this whole new environment that I had put myself into. This was all happening around when I was getting ready for my first powerlifting meet. So I was ending a relationship, trying to finish my degree that I didn't really want anymore, gave up the career that I had, set myself up for, was moving to a new city I didn't know anyone in, and I basically just kind of wanted to do my own thing. Up to my meet when I was just coming out of the hospital for the first time I went in there for my back, got an MRI, kind of got my diagnosis. So the two herniated discs in my neck is something that I'm continually competing against in and of myself. So post meet, I was in the hospital again for my back, and that kind of made me take a step back from powerlifting, really switch gears to the bodybuilding side of things, which I think us as a society has really taken on this victim mentality of, something negative happening and responding in a way that shuts us off from it and just kind of goes, well, I can't do that, and, you start feeling sorry for yourself, which is a lot of what the doctors were recommending me basically do. Don't go to the gym, just relax. Stop doing something that basically is, my passion. It's what I wake up excited to do. Um, and that wasn't going to be an option for me. Basically, I decided to take the opposite route of it and not be a victim. I wanted to be proactive. I wanted to find things that were going to allow me to maybe not do it at the time, which I wasn't able to do, but things that I can implement in my life to help me get back to the point of being able to power lift again. Does anyone else have like such a hard time putting together video blogs? Like, I just find that my focus is hard, getting a train of thought when you don't have somebody to banter off of. This is why I wrote a list, although I'm finding that this is more detrimental than it is, because I'm looking at it. I just think that everything happens for a reason, and unfortunately sometimes it can be the lowest of low, and lately it's been feeling pretty low, and it takes a lot on the mind to deal with this kind of stuff, but the most important thing that I'm finding, and I mean for most people, it's staying positive and being positive and optimistic. And it's okay to be stuck in those moments of fear. I think fear is probably one of the biggest tools that we have. In fear, I find that we find the most growth as individuals, which I think is important. But use those moments and turn them into positive things. So as I fear failure, it just makes me drive harder, and hitting a low with injury, with stepping back, reassessing goals, it's definitely making me reassert mental dominance over myself. My mind has always been my greatest strength and my greatest weakness, and I made a post about this before, about it's just about learning to control that mind, to continue to be a consistent strength as opposed to weakness. And I think positivity has a lot to do with it. I know it's like hippy dippy, and I'm not really big into that kind of stuff, but I mean, at the end of the day, like having a positive mindset, being optimistic, and just continuing to drive towards those goals. Find talking to people. A lot of people sit by the sidelines and feel sorry for themselves. I can't do that because I'm injured, and I can't do this because I'm injured. And I feel like you need to look at it differently. Like, injuries happen, but there's always modifications that can help you get back into the gym, at least doing something. At least not sitting around, at least being some way conducive for the goals that you set for yourself. Success is never linear. I've always said that, in that, you can set yourself up for these goals and things change, which means, your goal outcomes sometimes have to be shifted, like your figure competition has to be pushed back. It's supposed to be a macro picture, so, these 1 week, 1 month, 1 year goals are only there to set you up for success 5 years, 10 years down the road. If you're hitting these goals now and they're detrimental to those bigger pictures, you just reassess. And it's hard. I mean, I'm still mentally trying to bounce back from the fact that, I'm not going to be competing in November, despite the fact that I know that it's the best decision. I kind of lost train of thought. I know that there's a point to this, but I feel like I'm rambling on. I think what I kind of want to end this with, though, is describing a little bit about what I want to be doing coming up. I'm hoping to put out a blog. I really want to link my philosophy degree to the fitness industry, like I was saying before. I want to provide people with something that they can, read about my experiences, about my adversities, about the things that I've overcome, and have them read it, internalize it in whatever way they need to, and, draw something that clicks with them. It's not about finding motivation or inspiration, because I just don't give a fucking shit about that. It's just about, finding some kind of spark in yourself, and finding something within yourself for motivation, because, you know, I can talk at you as much as you want. You can, you know, people message me, tell me, you know, ask me, how did I find success? How did I do it? And at the end of the day, it was just something in myself that just clicked. And for you, it just has to be the same too. You just kind of have to find something within yourself that just makes you want to drive for more. For me, it was just, I didn't want to be mediocre. I didn't want to be content. I didn't want to wake up every day just being content with the situation that I was in. I believe, you know, in waking up every day with the purpose of being a better person than I was yesterday. And it's the same way I look at going into the gym. Every time I go in, I want to be a more solid lifter. I want to stand in front of the bar and lift better than the next time, every time I'm in there. Better form, better strength. I want to put up bigger numbers. It's just all about, you know, never being content, never being mediocre, continually pushing to be better for myself. You know, bigger goals for myself. And the other huge thing is being open to change and adapting. Things like, you know, as I was saying, like success not being linear. When your goals have to change, you have to be willing to change everything that it requires to meet a new goal or to alter that goal. You can't be, you know, set in only doing things one way, because there's multiple ways to do them, and not all the time, you know, something might work for you for the long run, but you know, if it stops, something's got to change. You can't just keep doing the same things over and over again. If something's not working, do something different. You know, if things don't seem to be fitting in your life, change your whole life around. I mean, we're looking at our lives as a puzzle, and if you're trying to stick pieces in that just don't fit and you want them to fit, then you gotta deconstruct that whole puzzle and start putting new pieces back in, because that's just kindergarten 101. You can't just stick pieces into something that doesn't fit. And that's something that I learned last year when, you know, I had all these things that I thought that I wanted and realized, you know, I don't fit in them. And so something's got to change. I feel like I'm getting off topic here again. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot to say, and I have a lot of ideas, and I think that's why writing has always been better for me. I'm probably going to give these vlogs a little more try. See if the next one can be a little more cohesive. But I'm kind of a scatterbrain. I've always been an overthinker. I think that's why I have a degree in philosophy, is because I'm just constantly thinking. So sitting here, I could probably talk your ears off for hours about nothing and everything. But at the end of the day, I just want to kind of explain my story and a little bit, I guess, of what I think and what I'm going through. I don't really have any more to say. I hope there was at least something in here that you guys could take away or learn about me. That, or I'm just a huge nerd. That's why I'm wearing the nerd glasses. Have a good night.